Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's On The Social Show. This is a show where you take control and you send in questions for me to answer. Once again, loads of questions sent in today, so if I don't read your question out, please don't take it personally. These ones are just randomly selected. So let's get straight into it. Going to kick off with Twitter, at LewisTucker_94. If we decide to part ways with David Moyes at the end of the season, who do you think we can bring in as the new manager? Look, if Moyes goes, you know, we are an attractive club. And there's a lot for a new manager to work with. But whoever the new manager is needs funds. Who will I like to see come in? I mean, we've got to be realistic here. We're not going to be aiming for the Angelottis and the... You know, I'd love to see us go for someone like Mancini. But I think it might just be a bit out of our reach to get someone like that. I mean, look... Arsene Wenger has just left Arsenal. I mean, if our club were really ambitious, they'd be on. I think David Dean say today that he's already had clubs asking him about Wenger. So I doubt it. I think Wenger have bigger options than us, but it's a great club for Wenger to come into with a new stadium and the young players. If he's got a bit of money to spend, but I don't think our board are that ambitious. You probably got to be looking at someone out of work, Marco Silva maybe. If Fulham didn't come up, I like the look of their manager. I think he's had a great season. Even at Huddersfield, Wagner, I think he's a good manager, and you've also got Eddie Howe, Sean Dyche. I mean, but would these managers want to leave their clubs? They're all having great seasons, really, especially Dyche. But yeah, I think they're the options that we'll be looking at if Moyes does go. Right, moving on, at Joshua Lister 8, with several players coming back from injury at the moment, adding options, do you think this disguises how thin the squad really is? And do you think the board will use this to their advantage to sign less players? Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think they've done it in previous windows. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, it's one of them ones, isn't it? We know we've got to spend a fully fit squad. We have got a decent squad. We've got a good starting 11. As for the squad, it is thin. We've got some good young players that hopefully can step up, but we have to improve the squad. And yeah, I think with the board, if everyone comes back fully fit, they see Marko Arnautovic scoring goals, David Moyes turn around and said he's our striker, then they won't go out and sign another striker and we'll sell Hernandez. So no, they've definitely got to spend. I mean, even with the players coming back from injury, I think there'll be a lot going out the door in the summer as well. So yeah, moving on. At Thomas B54154235. I hope that ain't your account number. Was Moyes right to dig out Declan after the match? No, he wasn't. Look, Declan Rice, yeah, he made a mistake, but he's young. Me and Nicky have both said we see Rio Ferdinand break into the team, and he used to make loads of mistakes, and look at the career he went to have. Declan Rice, yeah, I mean, first rule as a defender, if in doubt, get it out, and whether he had a call from Joe Hart, I don't know, but apparently he didn't, and he's left it. But he'll learn from that. But David Moyes coming out in his press conference after digging him out wasn't right. He should do that behind closed doors in the dressing room. I think Bonner come out and supported Declan Rice, and I think you'll see a few more players come out and support him because he's a great player. He's been one of our best players, and in the first half against Arsenal, he was probably best player on the pitch. He looked so comfortable, and one mistake, but listen, it's just the same as goalkeepers. You make one mistake, don't matter what you do during the game, that's all you're going to be remembered for that game. So Declan will come back, he'll be fit, better and stronger from that, and hopefully he'll put in a man-of-the-match performance against Man City on Sunday, because he's going to be tested, like all our players will be tested on Sunday. Right. At WHU Baldy, can you think of one positive reason why anyone should renew their season ticket? It's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, if we had a new manager lined up and we knew we had the money to spend, then yeah, that's the reason right there. But we all know we're going to renew. We all know we're going to renew our season tickets because that's what we do as fans. We slate them as much as we want, but we'll all be there next season. Yeah, I think one positive is as long as we're a Premiership team, I think that's going to make a big difference. But yeah, I think they need to either announce Moyes now, and they've got to give us some sort of hope for next season. And it's going to be a big summer for West Ham. Right, moving on at Collinson_Bob. What do you think to playing Hernandez as striker? Carroll was centre forward with Arnie as centre attacking midfield. At least then Moyes can tell the other 8 to hoof the ball forward, and they'll have to target in Carroll to hit it, who can lay it off to the other pair. Yeah, I mean, look, for me, Carroll, he's not a starter for me now. Not when you've got players like Hernandez. I'd like to see Hernandez and Arnautovic play together, but that is another option that you've just said there. You know, Carroll up top on his own with Hernandez and Arnautovic just off him could work, but I'd like to see Lanzini and Arnautovic and Hernandez together. Whether he's going to start with Carroll against City, might do a different option. I can't see us. I hope we don't start the same team that started against Arsenal, because I think Man City will destroy us. It's going to be a difficult game for us, however way we approach it. But it'd be typical West Ham to go and get a win against City, but it's going to be tough. But yeah, it's a good question. I like that one. It's could be a good option to see Carroll up there with them too. Right, moving on. At MCFC fan 1995, Man City fan. Right, put these 4 managers in order for the West Ham job. So I take it you mean who would be the best to the worst for West Ham? Brendan Rodgers, Marco Silva, Rafa Benitez, and Andre Villas-Boas. I think for me, number 1 out of all them would be Rafa Benitez for me. Great manager, done wonders at Newcastle. Be difficult to prize him away from Newcastle, but you never know. Second, I'd probably go Brendan Rodgers. I think he's a good manager. He's done a great job at Liverpool. He's done a fantastic job at Celtic as well. And then I'll probably go Marco Silva and then Villas-Boas. Fucking flies in here. Right, moving on. At Charles2807, what do you think? Who do you think we could generally get in the summer to take over? Yeah, like I said earlier, I mean, there's going to be a few options out there. It's how ambitious the board are. I mean, if they're that ambitious, listen, for me, I'd love to see someone like Rafa Benitez at West Ham, Arsene Wenger, Eddie Howe. I'd love to see these, but they're, people like that, they're going to be hard to get away from their clubs, especially Benitez and Eddie Howe. We know Wenger's leaving Arsenal now, but he's going to have loads of options. He's going to have bigger jobs than us. But yeah, Marco Silva looks like the favourite to probably take over because he's out of work if Moyes leaves. But I'd love to see us go for someone like Mancini, Pellegrini, these Premier League proven managers that can attract better players. I'm not saying we've got to go and get big name players, but we need to. But this is all speculation, obviously. I mean, David Moyes at the moment is our manager, and to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if he's given a 2-year deal and he is the man to take us forward. Right. At Joe Woolley, for me, the only way to start the new season off in order to give us fans some optimism is by announcing a new manager and giving him an £80 million budget. After the shocking season we've had, I think it's what we all deserve. Can't take another season like this one. Yeah, I mean, you're totally right, mate. For me, if we was to guarantee safety in the next few games, maybe if they're not looking to give Moyes the job, maybe let him go. He's done his job. Then start going to work. If they haven't already, start going to work on bringing a new manager in, letting him know what his budget is. I mean, £80 million is a lot of money, but I think we need a bit more than that. I think you're looking at about 80 to 120 to maybe £140 million to improve this squad. But no, £80 million and a new manager would be a great way. I mean, you're right. We can't go another season like this. I mean, last season under Bilic, we sort of got out of it a bit sooner than we have now, but we've still got a lot of hard work to do. People think we're safe. We're only 6 points clear. I mean, we've got 4 games left. I think the others have got 3. It only takes us to lose all 4, and you never know. So fingers crossed. But I can see us getting out of it. Man City, it's going to be tough to get anything against Man City, but no, Leicester away, I think we can get something, maybe all 3 points, and that'll guarantee us safety. Moving on, at Daggers _316, considering the season's shambles and underachievement, do you think we will still have a mass exodus of top talent, even if we do stay up, merely becoming another Stoke, stroke Southampton, etc.? That will inevitably be on borrowed time. Yeah, I mean, I hope that we don't start selling off players like Lanzini. I mean, the way Declan Rice has been playing the last few games, it wouldn't surprise me if there's teams sniffing around him. I hope that we can keep hold of most of our players that we've got. There are some players that need to go. I don't really want to name names at the moment. You know, it's unfair to pick certain players out, but the players, there's a lot of players that have underachieved this season. They've let us down at times. A lot of injuries in our squad. You know, maybe we need to start getting rid of some of these long-term injury-prone players. But yeah, I mean, the people like Lanzini, we've got to keep players like him. For me, he hasn't had a great season, but once you get better players around him, he'll perform even better. Right, moving on now. I've got a couple of Facebook questions. This is from Ben Watts. I reckon the Stoke game has put the nail in the coffin about Hernandez off to the MLS. I'll play a diamond 4-1-2-1-2. Adrian, Zabaleta, Ogbonna, Rice, Masuaku, Noble in centre defensive midfield, Kiate, Cullen, Lanzini in centre attacking midfield, and Hernandez and Marco. Yeah, I mean that's quite a good team you've said there. It's something that we spoke about. I wouldn't want to chuck Josh Cullen in at the moment. I think if we're safe and we've got a couple of games to go, like say the Man United Everton game, if we're safe, chuck him in against them sort of teams. You know, give him a bit of experience. I think Cullen's definitely one for the future. But yeah, no, that's a good little lineup there. It could work. It might be a bit risky against City, but yeah. Right, Martin Ford. Let's get real with the fact Moyes is not the answer. If the club have ambition, he needs to go. But it's the same old shit. Survive and the fans will be happy. Yeah, I get that impression with our board. That's what they want to do, just survive. You know, they come out with their ambitions of Champions League football and this, that and the other. Well, I don't think we're ever going to achieve that under these owners. But if they want to show a bit of ambition, like I've said in previous questions, get rid of Moyes, go out and get a decent manager who can spend money to bring in his own players. And you never know, you know, next season might be different and we can move up the league. And move up the league and hopefully have a better season than we had this season. Right. This is Kun John. Hi, we all know that Moyes has to go, but is it really going to happen? I'm a long-time fan, 66 years old, attending the 1964 Cup Final and European Cup Winners' Final. Had a season ticket in the Bobby Moore stand, Upton Park. Now live in Thailand and really rely on you blokes to keep in touch. Thanks, John. First of all, thank you, John, for watching us, mate. It's always good to hear from fans overseas that watch our stuff. And to go to the 1964 Cup Final and the European Cup Winners' Final, mate, you know, they're only things that we can dream of. You know, I'm 34 years old and I've never seen us win a major trophy. You know, I've seen 2 playoff finals and a proxy in a Toto Cup. So there's some great memories you got there, mate. But yeah, look, Moisey has to go for me. It's not working out. I mean, listen, he's done a great job. The circumstances that he come into after Bilic went, you know, he's got us out of the relegation zone, but he hasn't, you know, we're still not safe. I just don't think, I think with him, it'll be like the Big Sam days. I mean, I've seen it over the last couple of games. The last 2 games for me, Stoke and Arsenal, have sort of confirmed my feelings with Moyes. There was a point where I thought, you know what, give the bloke a chance. But look, if he is given the job, you know, I'm not going to sit here and slate him every week. You know, I've got to get behind him. But let's just hope that the ball do show a bit of ambition and go out and get another manager. Right, this one's from Ben Watts. What's the one thing you miss walking to Upton Park from the pub or station? Mine's walking really slow with all the fans chanting song. I reckon yours is the burger vans. You cheeky git. No, do you know what? Listen, we love the bowling ground. We all miss the traditions of the bowling ground. You know, I used to love going to the pub with my mates before even the bowling on a central. You know, walking down your right, walking to the ground, singing songs. You see the away fans, you give them a bit of banter. Walking around through the John Lyall gates. You know, they're days that they're only memories now. I wish we could have them back. I really do. But as I got into the last few seasons, for me, was I got to take my daughter for the last 3 seasons, and she was with me at the last season at the bowling ground. And yeah, I miss, you know, I'll never forget her first game and walking, doing the walk that I done, you know, as a kid. So yeah, I mean, there's some great memories, and like I said, it is only memories now, and let's hope that in time to come we can have that at Stratford at the London Stadium. Fingers crossed, you know, it does start to feel like home again. But no, that's a good question. I like that. Right, yeah, that's it for the questions this week. So thank you so much for sending me in your questions. One thing I do want to talk about quickly, most of you know, little girl Isla Caton. You know, it's a sad story with Isla, but the one positive from this season is that the West Ham fans have all come together, raising money, you know, auctions, charity football games, collecting outside the ground. I know Baz Cox and his niece, you know, they're outside every ground, home and away, collecting money. Just great to see everyone coming together. Mark Little, the boxer, you know, he donates 20%, I think it is, of his ticket fund. It's unbelievable. Not only West Ham fans, you know, you've had Millwall fans running in West Ham kits, raising money. It's unbelievable, and I know that there's a few people at Arsenal as well. But one thing I do want to talk about is that on May the 6th, there's a charity football match at Redbridge FC, right next to Barkingside Station. It's 2 o'clock kickoff. There's loads of ex-West Ham players and celebrities. I mean, just some of the West Ham players. You've got Marlon Harewood, Matty Everton, Paul Konchesky, Kenny Brown, Jimmy Walker, Danny Gabardon, Steve Potts, Rufus Brevet. I mean, you've got 3 boxers playing. You've got Sammy McNess, Mark Little. I think Kevin Mitchell's been confirmed now. There's loads of other celebrities as well. Jeff Brazier's playing. He's a Spurs fan, so we can give him a bit of a stick. But no, listen, I've met Jeff before. He's a nice, really nice bloke. And for him to give up his time to come and play in this game is unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, the tickets are £10 for adults, £5 for kids. I mean, if you go on www.facebook.com/team, Team Isla's One Fight. You know, you can get tickets on there. I mean, like I said, £10 a ticket, £5 for kids, family of 4, 2 adults, 2 children, 26 quid. It's going to be a great day, you know. There's entertainment, food, there's a bar, DJ till late, so people will be staying after. It'd just be good to see some of the old West Ham players again. So, you know, listen, what Isla's going through, you know, I've seen, you know, I know I work with some of Isla's family, and I've known about Isla for a long time. And it's, you know, it puts life into perspective, you know. It's what she's going through, and to see her smile, you know, it's unbelievable. You can feel down, but you'll get Isla's mum or someone post a photo of Isla and she's just smiling, and you just look at her and you think what she's going through, you know. It's unbelievable. So listen, any fans are welcome, you know, from any club. But let's hope that we pack it out with West Ham. I mean, we'll all be over there. I'll definitely be there. I can't wait. You know, I've got me, look, Team Isla bang on there, you know. It's let's hope. I mean, we've raised over the 300 grand so far. I mean, she needs a lot of money to get to America, and the fans are all coming together, and it's unbelievable. So, I mean, we'll tweet this out anyway, and we'll put all the links in the description so you can get your tickets. But great to see everyone. It's a bank holiday as well, so cool. Come over, have a few drinks. speak to the players after. It'd be good. Get your photos, and we're all there for either at the end of the day. So, look, I'll leave that there. Thank you so much for watching this. As always, subscribe to our channel if you're new. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. We've got loads of videos going up this week in the build up to the Man City game. I think Nicky's got a musings coming out. Dan will have his West Ham week. Scott will have his previews, and then obviously on Sunday we'll have fan cams and post-match pint. Let's hope we're all smiling and happy. But yeah, I'll leave that there. Thank you so much for watching this edition of On The Social. I'm Ryan Archer. Come on, you Irons.